Hello everybody, my name is Cara. How y'all doing today? I hope y'all doing fantastic because today we're here with another video of Heroes Quest, the automatic roguelite RPG. And today I've gotten a few comments in the main Discord about like, oh, what's your stat allocation for certain bosses? I'm doing what you've told me to do and I still can't beat any bosses, stuff like that. And I thought I would take the time today and discuss my stat allocation for certain bosses. So let's go ahead and continue our run. Now, I've not made it very far. I mean, I'm just in the Plains dungeon, the starting area, so to speak. But this is a great place to start because you can see me one-shot bosses as I'm talking about the stat allocation. So normally, when you start the game, you don't want to go here first off. You want to farm as many of these level 1s, like you want to move up in level, right? You want to move up in level as you're allocating your stats. So this brings me to the main question of the video. What is my stat allocation process? So normally, one would go half HP, half attack, and then put the rest in agility. So it's basically 50-50-25, or 50-50 all in. But what I like to do is I like to put, like, after I beat a few mobs and bosses, I like to put all points into attack, or all points into attack, all points in HP, and then if I feel like I attack too slow, all points into agility. Until I feel comfortable enough beating the mobs around me to attempt the boss. But typically, when you start the game, you want to stay here for a lot of your run. And then you want to make your way down. You want to make your way downwards. And then fight these level, like, 35s to level 60s, and then you attempt this avian boss. And then after you do that, you will move all the way to the right, where you'll find, some higher level mobs. It's just right up your alley. And then you'll find this chest, the disguised chest, a mimic, so to speak. After you beat him, you go ahead and go all the way up here. You go back to going north. And then you can try your hand at the forest golem. And then when you move on to this area, I mean, maybe you'll attempt some of these mobs here, and then you'll attempt the Void Queen if you feel kind of comfortable, but then, boom, you just get one shot. So what do you do after that? Do you just farm more mobs here until you get to a nice, comfortable level and then do it again? No, you don't do that. You go a different path. You go all the way to the left. Not a whole lot of people know about this because they never ventured that far. But you go to the left, you farm some of these mobs here. They're a little bit more up your alley. And then after you're comfortable here, since there's no bosses, you go up top, and then you find some of these mobs up here that are in the 300s. 300s to 400s. And then you come across this boss, the Soul Stealer. Kind of looks like a demon. Looks like he'd steal the soul right out of you. And then when you're finished with that boss, you can farm some more mobs in this area. Once you feel comfortable there, you can go all the way back to the starting area of this particular dungeon. And then you can go all the way back to Void Queen, beat her, and then move on. And then you'll come across this area where there's level 500s, level 600s. I mean, it's a little bit tougher as you go on, and then once you're comfortable there, you beat the Heart Slayer, and then you move on to the next area, which is the Desert Dungeon. Here we go, the desert biome. Let's see. Funny story about when I first played this game. I went through a lot of my runs without knowing where my equipment is and knowing that I needed to spend all of my gold necessary to upgrade my gear. I didn't know that. I was just going at it like full on headstrong, which, by the way, is not the right way to go. You want to use all of your gold necessary to buy all of the gear that you can. Don't make the same mistake I made. Please. It hurt my heart. It also hurt me mentally that you would do the same thing that I would. Anyways, let's just go ahead and find some higher level mobs. Ooh, 1783. I'll take that. But yeah, basically when you're heading into a new area, you always want to go half into attack, half into health, and then put the rest into agility until you're comfortable, and then when you get the gear necessary to beat all of these bosses, beat all of these mobs in your particular area, you can allocate it into luck, right? You can go into luck all the way, like I'm doing right now, until you come across a wall, so to speak, a hard obstacle that you can't pass until you allocate your stats into anything else other than luck. So say I tried to hit two-headed beast right now and I couldn't beat him, I would just have to go down here, beat a couple of these blue dragons and soulless and stuff like that, until I got comfortable enough, and then I would attempt him again and see if I beat him, ultimately coming out on top. And let's see, the hero that I use is called the Spellcaster. Now the Spellcaster is one of the best attack type heroes available. Now why do I say that? Because the Spellcaster gives you a 150% bonus to your main attack. And if you have a very strong weapon, like if I go to my equipment right now, I go to my Rift Breaker. It has 41.036 million attack and a 4,419% bonus. Now, add the 150% bonus to all of that, and I've not allocated my points into attack, but this attack that you see, this 113.85 million, that's my main attack. Crazy, huh? There's a lot of things that you can do with the right type of hero. Now, speaking of heroes, the first ever time that I beat Forest Golem was with my Elite Shooter, which is the 75% attack hero. This was also when I bought some tickets, and then I spent some on the Elite Shooter hero, and then I was able to beat Forest Golem, weirdly enough, without gear. Think about it, without gear, and I put like a lot of my points into attack. But this was before like the major update where, well, by major update I mean like the major update where bosses got like buffed a little bit, where it's a little bit harder to beat bosses now. The difficulty was tweaked. There we go. That's the phrase I was looking for. The major update where the difficulty was tweaked to make it a little harder for people to progress very, very fast in the game. But yeah, like I said, like, whenever you go into a new area, you always want to fight some of the mobs, see how comfortable you are with how much damage they deal to you versus how fast you kill them. And if they do more of your health than you can kill them, so say you end the battle with more than half of your HP gone, diminished, obliterated, snapped away by Thanos, vanished into existence. You want to keep farming until you get comfortable, and you can use the stat allocation method that I use, which is put some of your points in, like put all your points into HP one run, put all of your points into attack another run, and then do all of it into agility another run until you're comfortable, right? But you can also use the half-half all-in method, which is 50% into attack and health, and then put the rest into agility. And honestly, that might work out a little better than my method, but who knows? We'll always have to see. But yeah, that is all I wanted to talk about in this video. I will just go ahead and do a little bit more of this run. Where's a nice 10-5? There's no 10-5. 10-4 it is. Alright, so I hope you've all enjoyed this video. Remember to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment below if you enjoyed. And go ahead and join the Discord. That's in the description below. And also join the Reddit. I mean, there's not been a whole lot of traction for the Reddit lately. But maybe that's because I'm not advertising it enough in the Discord. So, go ahead and join the Reddit. That's also in the description below. And until then, I bid you adieu.